Reverend Dr. Jason W. Morrison, theologist. I don't practice as a theologist anymore. I gave that away. Call went off my life and I accepted it. I sensed it and I accepted it. I had no trouble at all acknowledging that it was time for me to get out. I guess when you're navigating a relationship, for those that are interested, there's a whole lot more to it than our perceptions, our own perceptions. We need to check, we need to double check, we need to make sure that we're reading things correctly. We're not always right. In fact, too often we can have the wrong perceptions and get things wrong. But the main thing is to track how the relationship's going in a way that's best for both people in it. That's the object. A relationship's not about selfishness. It's also not about being over committed, like you're the fan of the person that you're with and they're the movie star. No, that's not it at all. It's a balance. It's an absolute balance. And you want what's best for the person that you're with. You want peace and love and joy. You want to see them succeed and you want to see them to have success. You definitely don't want them to be stressed or upset. Usually, depending on what you're about and what you want to fulfill for the person that you're with. But a relationship's a glorious place to be in, and it's something that needs to be moving forward in spirit, soul, and body. But what happens when something comes into the relationship? You'll all be thinking, here he goes again. That's going to put a bit of a hogwash on it. Well, for my part, I was always taught to damn well deal with it before you lose your partner. Deal with the issue before you lose your partner. That's not the case these days. It seems to be a trend to try and push things as far as you can, and if you lose the partner, then find somebody else. And sometimes breakups happen for different reasons, and you think that it's because of yourself, but sometimes it can actually be because of somebody else, and they're not the sort of people that you really want to mix with. But you can tell if that's where this thing's headed by unresolve. Unresolve is the enemy of the relationship, but it's also the friend, in the sense that if somebody doesn't want to fix the unresolve, you know that it's heading for a train wreck. Okay? If somebody's had time enough to know you and understand who you are, and they're just not willing to bring the relationship back to a place of health, then look, the bottom line, guys, is you're being used. It doesn't matter what sort of commitment the other person's showing. If they're deliberately waving unresolved in front of you, it's disrespect. It's a disrespect for the mental health of yourself, the health of the relationship, and obviously there's outside controlling factors that are just poisoned into the relationship that shouldn't be there. Now, it's hard enough trying to deal with your partner and what's going on in their head without having some interferer on the outside meddling with adult business, and this is what happens. The problem with it is, and I got this today, come to the spirit, these people that are into unresolved and causing trouble and falsely villainizing people and operating in micro-incremental dark triad covert characteristics and things, they're cursing themselves. Oh, curses aren't real. Oh, yes, they are. Believe me, they are real. And what happens is you do, in many ways, reap what you sow. If you're sowing into the destruction of somebody's relationship, or if you're falsely sowing into misrepresenting somebody based on your feelings and immaturity and delusions and things, that is going to come back on you. It just is. It's just how that seems to work. It's going to return to you. And this is where parenting is really important. Like I've had a couple of instances here with my eldest son, his new relationship, where I've had to step in and say, hey, you need to tidy this up and you need to tidy that up, please. That's my responsibility. And sometimes it can seem like you're interfering yourself, but when you look at the results, you go, well, thank God. Some parents aren't doing this. They're not stepping up and going, hang on a sec, you might be a little bit wrong here. I've been with this person long enough to see. And if that's not happening, the person's really not into you. They're just using you. If somebody's into you, believe it. They're going to stand for you. If somebody's not, that person really is not on your team. And it's not about picking sides. It's about having health, mental health and mental clarity and things in order. Obviously, if people aren't fixing things, those things aren't valuable to them. And you need to ask yourself, well, what if something really serious happens? Like this is just a delusion. They're going this far with the delusion. What if something real happens? Is what come to mind to me. And I thought, well, gosh, goodness me, if they can't sort this out, how are they going to sort out something really serious? And you like to be there for your partner when they're sick or when something bad's happening. But when you get to the point where you feel sick, you've got a drawing weight in the back of your mind, you've got migraines, and you're trying to tolerate it all, but you just can't. It's so hard. It's so hard. So many times I've gotten to this point and I've begged and I've shown that I'll work with you, but there's just this trend today of people aren't doing the work. They're just not willing to do the work to have the relationship. I've taken people from loneliness to a proper, healthy relationship with company and allowing space and all the rest of it, giving space and that. And these people still aren't happy. I mean, what are they doing? Stay out of it. Go find people like yourself that are going to just make people a convenience and see how you last. The problem with what I've found with these people that have come into my life, they've all ended up on their fucking own because they've come to my life where I'm 100% trying to, build something, and they've squandered it and then gone out. I don't know what they were thinking. Honestly, I've seen it. I've watched it. I've had 30 years of watching these women just fuck up. And I can tell you, they end up on the grass is not greener. It is not greener. You can kid yourself all you like. You can pretend. You'd see a lot of you people aren't old enough to know, or haven't had the experience to see. It's not a game. It's that there's people in jail for fucking with people's lives, right? You little people that haven't lived yet, that are interfering in adult business, and you adults that are letting them, you need to wake up. You're cursing yourselves as if life ain't hard enough. You're actually cursing yourselves. You people that are pushing for space so that you can do the minimum in a relationship, you're cursing yourself. You're going to get space, all right. Guess what? You're going to get more fucking space than you can allow for. I don't think you realise. I don't think you've watched how life works. If you're with someone and they're genuinely trying to build a relationship with you and you're squandering it, what do you think's going to happen to you? Wake up. Honestly, wake up. When you're tracking your relationship and you're watching it going down the tubes, it's not hard to get over it. I can tell you get used to it. I just go, another one's about to bite the dust, and it hurts because you really have hopes and things, but you just see these people railroad themselves and they got nothing. They come in with all this, oh, we'll do this and you're this and this and that, and then they fuck everything up and they just disappear. You tell them to go and they just disappear. You know, it's a curse, but it's not a curse that's going to stay on me. No, the main thing is, right, and this is the main thing, and you can kid yourself, some of you people, the effort hasn't been made properly, and it's turned around to bite. It's turned around to bite, and it's biting very hard. And all the things that we try and use to numb the pain can't numb this kind of pain. It's too deep. That's why love and lust and all this stuff's so important not to fuck with, because it is too deep. You must approach it with the right attitude, the right outlook, the right intentions, the right effort, the right communication, and all the rest of it. There's no point you going into that zone and then messing it up, because you will get messed up, guaranteed, right? You might think you're bulletproof and you might try and blame everybody else and this and that, but no, you have to be responsible and accountable for what you do. You just do. And hopefully you'll find a place to heal, and hopefully somehow you'll find someone that suits you and me as well. You know, it's just consequential. That's my point. Everything is consequential. And if we want to mess with those consequences, good luck. Life's short, age catches up with you, but by the time you age, you should know what you're dealing with, and you should know that things have to be reciprocal. If you don't, good luck to you. Really, you're going to have a miserable life. Just miserable. You know, be respectful. Do the work. Do what you're supposed to do if you're going to have a relationship. Don't sit there and go, you know, that's too hard for me, or I'm not worthy, or no, grow up. Grow up, honestly, and do what you got to do, or be happy to sit on your own. Right? Just stay on your own and get fucked here and there, or whatever you're going to do. See where it gets you. Past behavior predicts future behavior. Right? If your past has worked for you, stay with your past. If not, look forward to your past being your future. Because past behavior predicts future behavior and the same results. The only difference is you'll be sicker, you'll be older, you'll be grayer, and doesn't look to me like you'll be wiser. You need to wise up. We all need to keep getting wiser every day and bring the most out of our lives. In Jesus' name. Amen. Bye for now.